You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriot. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How are you guys doing? Thank you for joining the HighlyEvolvedPodcast Podcast. I'm your host, Defund. You can find me on BitChute and keep subscribing to YouTube because we can't stop the fight. All right, must not stop the fight. Find me on Minds.com, Twitter, and Gab.ai or Gab.com. Excuse me. In this episode, I want to discuss the Trump deal with Mexico right now. Right. This article I want to bring to you is from Breitbart. I'll leave the description. As always, I always leave my article description in the description below, all right? If you ever wonder, everything I share, I always leave it in the description below. But let me pull this up for you guys, all right? I appreciate it. You are my loyal listeners, all right? Once again, you are a real patriot, and I gotta find this, all right? You are a real American patriot who keep listening to this channel, and I thank you, all right? But let me put this on for you guys, and there you go. Trump deal with Mexico likely end catch and release. Defund cartels. Wow. That's a big gain. That is a real big gain for the Trump administration, for the Trump policy when it comes to immigration, right? And I'm impressed by it. Catch and release is a very detrimental policy right now. It's a flawed policy. Defund the cartels, right? I really want to see defunding the cartels and narcos, all right? Look at this picture. To the U.S., everybody's all rushing. All right, let's read this together. President Donald Trump has announced an immigration reform deal with the Mexican government, which likely will allow border officials to end the catch and release of Central American immigrants. All right, which means that they won't let them come through America anymore. They have to. The reason why catch and release is allowed is because Mexico aren't doing their job telling these asylum seekers to stay in Mexico. They allowed them to cross the borders. If Mexico would not allow these people crossing the border, the catch release would be meaningless, right? If there was no people to cross, if there was no people to be crossing the borders, there would be no need for the catch and release program, right? That's what Donald Trump tried to get the Mexican people to do, all right, official to do, all right? Ending catch and release is a huge win for American and the Trump because it means border officials now have the legal alternative to catch and release rule, which allow migrants to legally enter the United States if the children claim asylum, right? Now, what the deal is, the deal would force Mexico to make these people take asylum in Mexico and not tell them to come to the United States. That's what it is, all right? Those catch and release rules by Congress and the court also allowed migrants to get work permits before their asylum court hearing, which are now backlogged for 2 or more years. Instead of catch and release, the immigrant can be returned to Mexico until their asylum claim can be heard by a judge. The joint declaration was outlined by State Department message. Those, immigrants crossing the U.S. southern borders to seek asylum will rapidly return to Mexico where they may await for the adjudication for their U.S. asylum claims. In response, Mexico will authorize the entrance of all these individuals for humanitarian reasons in compliances with the international obligations where they awaited I can't say that word. Adjudications. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize, but that word, you understand. Adjudication. I said it. All right. Of all the asylum claims, Mexico will also offer jobs, healthcare, education, according to principle. The United States, right? AMLO, he's a socialist, right? How come he's not offering this to these asylum workers? He claimed to be a socialist, right? Back up your own word, AMLO. Open the door. The United States commit to work accelerate the adjudication for asylum claims, and conclude removal process as exponentially as possible. Both parties are agreed that the measure adopted do not have the expected result. They will take further action. Mexico agreed to offer jobs and health care to the immigrants will weaken the lawsuit by pro-migrant U.S. group that opposed the deal, right? It's just stomping their face in. Donald Trump deal just stomped their face in. In exchange, U.S. will also work with Mexico to spur regional economic development. Mexico also promised to set up police enforcement against the cartel labor trafficking from Central America to the United States. This is what look. Regarding the cartel, right? Mexico just frees the cartel bank account, right? And you question this. If they know who the cartel is, why didn't they do this a long time ago? Right? So you know they're embedded with the cartel. They know the cartel bank numbers and they freeze their account. Right? Why you didn't do this before? Why wasn't this enacted before? Because they're embedded by the cartels, right? That's kind of fishy, right? All this time they didn't want to. They claimed that they couldn't do nothing but the cartels, right? But now they could do something about the cartels by freezing their bank account. You can cut all their funding. Without funding, they can't do anything. All right? It don't make no sense. Mexico they're lying to people, right? This is why I want to warn Donald Trump. Don't take the word for granted. These people could lie to you. All right? Please inform labor trafficking, Central America and United States. Mexico will take unprecedented steps to increase enforcement and curb irregular immigration to include deployment of National Guard throughout Mexico. They should have been doing this. Giving priority to some, they should have been doing this. They have the money. Mexico have money, all right? They should have been doing it. They're not doing it. That's why we have to be hard with them. They've been taking advantage of the United States for too long, and this is like a good sign right now. The promise to extra enforce is vague and far less important to U.S. border security than the returning migrants to Mexico. However, border officials face practical problems of processing immigrants for returning to Mexico at a faster rate than the cartel can bust them up in the borders. That means they could bring more people in than the border patrol could process them to kick them out of here. If the borders agency cannot keep pace with the cartel transportation network, they may be forced to release some immigrants to the United States, and we do not want that. All right? We don't know who they are. They're spreading diseases. All right, these quote unquote dreamers. What gangster could be dreamers? Violent criminal could be dreamers. When they use the word dreamer, it's so vague. Anybody could be dreamers. All right, you need to ask these kind of questions. Anybody could be dreamers. Criminals have dreams too. The compromise deal allowed Mexico to dodge the escalating tariff Donald Trump promises, and also means that Mexico do not have formally declared itself safe third country. Trump and his deputy want Mexico to declare itself a safe third country because that would give U.S. border officer the permanent legal authority to reject migrants who crosses through Mexico, right? So they can't claim asylum because they're safe, right? But the Mexico government agreed to host a migrant before their U.S. court hearing, providing similar legal authority to U.S. border agency. The deal means that border agency will not allow the release migrants into the United States prior to their asylum hearing, all right? So we don't have to, there's no more catch and release. Let's say that. We don't have to release them in America. They have to wait in Mexico now. All right, that's what it means. The deal would mean that these people have to wait in Mexico. We cannot take them in. That what it means that it stopped catch and release program. It stopped the Democrats voting block. That's what it is. These illegal immigrants, they're the Democrat voting blocks. They tried to bring them in to change the demographic in Texas, especially Texas. All right, the Democrat as Texas is changing right now, and that's their stronghold. They try to change the demographic of Texas. All right. People still trust in the President Trump. The problem is they're bringing more people into Texas where they don't have a favorable a favorable trust rate in Trump. That's what it is. That's why the demographics is changing. And I hope people in Texas figure that out. If you're from Texas, please understand, spread the news that these people are coming in on purpose to change your demographic. All right, let's continue. The end of the cartel and release, the end of catch and release will likely wreck the cartel labor trafficking business, which depend on migrants getting U.S. jobs and repaying their smugglers' debt. That's good. We need to stop them. Stop their funding. Few poor people in Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala will go into debt with the cartels and mortgage their farm and home to the cartels once they knew they will forced to remain in Mexico prior to their asylum here. That will prevent people from not crossing. Right? What the law in America is doing right, incentivize these people crossing, and we need to stop incentivizing it. That's why it's so attractive to people. The reduction of migrants will also help stabilize Central American country, which is in need before foreign investor building farms or factory to those nations, right? And that's Donald Trump's tweet. I am pleased to inform the United States of America have reached a signed agreement with Mexico, and the tariff is scheduled to be implemented by the United States on Monday against Mexico, hereby indefinitely suspended. Mexico, in turn, has agreed to a strong measure to stem up the tide of migrants through Mexico and the southern borders, this being greatly reduced or eliminate illegal immigration coming from Mexico into the United States, detailed in the government, and will be released short in the State Department. See, this is what I like about Donald Trump, right? Not only he's taking a policy approach, right? And he's also taking a physical approach, meaning building a wall. You have to build a wall and take a policy approach as well, right? That will mitigate the problem. It will mitigate the smuggling. It will mitigate the border crossing, and it will help us a lot because it'll alleviate some stress on the border patrol because Mexicans are doing their part as well. See, in order to take care of this immigration problem, you have to take it care physically, meaning building the wall, and policy-wise, meaning having a strong policy that prevent people from not doing this anymore, right? Under current rules, roughly 1 million Central Americans will walk through the borders, loopholes created and perverse by courts and Congress. Loopholes created and perverses by the court and Congress into American workplace, neighborhood schools during the 12-month term prior to October. And these are the rate of how many people came. Look at this. Look at this. Look how high that is. All right. Over the past, I don't know who this guy is. Over the past 8 months, I can read this tweet. Politically good idea for Trump and bad idea for the Democrats. The Democrats are losing, who have campaigned during the last few days to prevent the deal would slow down the upflow of migrants. Democrats oppose the deal in part because it reduced their bargain power and domestic flight against Trump to win amnesty for millions of illegals, right? If you're not aware, all right, Democrats just passed the Dreamers Act in the House of Representatives. Not just Democrats vote for this, but rhinos vote for this as well. You need to find out who's the rhino and don't vote for them. Get them out. We do not need rhinos. Not only that, if it goes to the Senate, there's also never Trumpers in there. So they will actually vote for this as well, the Dreamers Act. The Dreamers Act is define the president policy, right? If it goes to the Senate and it passes through the Senate, President Trump had to veto this. This is going to be vetoed straight up, right? Not only that, some Republican came out against, we already know the Democrat stands against the terror, right? We already know that. But some of the Republican out there, I think including Mitch McConnell and all these people out there are coming against the tariff. How the heck are you going to support your country and your president if you're speaking out against the president policy? That's not showing a strong, that's not backing your president up. These rhinos are very detrimental to the Trump agenda right now, right? What kind of Republican are you? You're supposed to, see, the thing is with Democrats, they stand by each other no matter how bad the policy is. Republicans, they stand by each other. All right, they even saying, why would you say that? Why would you just keep your mouth shut and agree with the president that you agree with the president, believe that this is the way to go? And it's clearly is working. It's working in China, all right, and it's clearly working in Mexico. Tariff works. This is what these rhinos do not understand. Stand with your president. If not, guys, if you find out who this rhino is who voted against the president, who talk against the tariff, vote them out of office. You don't need them. You need to replace them. These rhinos, all right. Need to replace them. Period. All right. They're not showing any support for the president by not agreeing with the tariff. The tariffs work. They don't understand. All right. Tariff works. Clearly, it works because Mexico was threatened by a tariff, and now they came into a bargaining agreement with this. All right. Vote those rhino out. You don't need those rhinos. Come out publicly saying they don't like the idea of tariff. You're not the president, man. The American people want him to put this tariff. They vote him in there for a reason to apply this policy. We need a strong president, a strong leader. We don't need no weak Democrat leading the country. Don't vote for Democrat. To be a strong leader, America needs strong leaders. That's what it is, to not be taken advantage of. If you don't have a strong leader, you're going to be, jobless, all right, despondent, depressed, because you don't have a strong leader. Right, you need to elect a strong leader. A strong leader. Right, obviously Donald Trump is exhibiting that right now. All right, he didn't back down anything. He did not back down. He said what he said, meant what he meant. We need a president like that. No flip flopping. All right, you want somebody who stand by his word, who believe in himself. Donald Trump believed in himself, and these rhinos come out of nowhere on what ABC, CNN. Fox saying that they don't agree with the tariff. Like, who care what you believe? You care what you believe. You're not the president. All right? The people want him to do this. I know a lot of people that agree that the tariff is the right way to go. Right? Look, William McKinley, he's a tariff president. And look what happened to him. We need to protect our president. All right? But I digress. All right? Obviously, Donald Trump is doing a good thing right now. And the Democrat, they're shaking in their shoes right now, all right? Because this is exemplifying another win for the Trump administration, and they do not want that. They do not want any more wins for the Trump administration. All right, but because of one saying, Google don't want to monetize me, all right? Because I'm not monetized, I'm not scripted, unrehearsed, unedited. I mean, I can say whatever I want without being bound by any outside interference, right? Not only that, I'm not taking any donation because the point of this channel is not to make money, not to profit from anybody. I'm not profiting from anybody. The point of this channel is to wake people up, to make people aware, all right, of the Democratic policy, how poisonous, how detrimental it is to American society. I never vote for a Democrat. They're liars. People who still voted for a Democrat, they're brainwashed, and they hadn't seen through the lens yet. They're still seeing a narrow view, all right. Conservative people have a good way of thinking. Their window of seeing things is like this. It's a wider spectrum. Democrats, the way of seeing it is like this, narrow. This is their window. It's that narrow. While everyone else is a big window to seeing how things really is. All right? Because of that, I'm taking not any donations because that's the point of this video, the point of this channel, is to wake people up and not vote for any Democrat. If you like what I do, support me on BitChute and Minds.com. Follow me on Twitter and Gab.com. And most importantly, subscribe me on YouTube. All right? Even though YouTube is shadow banning my channel. They're reducing my view counts. All right? They're not diversing my channel out to anybody at all. So all my videos like at 0 views. That's impossible. All right? But click like. Most importantly, like, because when you like my channel, it tells the algorithm to show up to somebody else, right? And most importantly, subscribe, because when you subscribe, you're encouraging me to make more videos, all right? So it could reach out to more people, all right? Subscribe to YouTube. We are not liberals. We don't quit. We fight. We keep fighting, all right? We keep fighting the good fight, and we don't bow down to any liberal ideology, all right? Just because they're banned, it doesn't mean we have to quit, all right? Which it means that we have to stand our ground and fight these people and use other platforms to spread our words. And I know, guys, I know your time is precious, and I try not to waste your time. This is the Highly Evolved Podcast. My name's Stefan, and I thank you for listening. On that note, guys, and I'm signing out. Peace.